I'm in Torquay for Motorboat and Yachting today, looking at this, which is a Sunseeker Manhattan 56. Now, Sunseeker built these from 2000 until 2004, and it's actually a very popular boat. They built over 40 of them in that 4-year period, so it did very well for them. And there are two layout versions of this, which I'll explain when we go on board, but we'll start off here at the outside. It has the high-low platform, so this will drop down and lower the tender into the water. And if we head on this way, I'll give you a look around and tell you a little bit more about it. So we can go into the cockpit through here. The doorway is in the centre, and that brings us into quite a spacious cockpit actually. And you can see there's access out onto the side decks on either side. We'll take in the flybridge first of all, and then we'll work our way down and in. So quite a big flybridge on this boat, and it's a very sort of med-based spec, because if we come to the back here, you see we have the seating here, but actually you can pull that one forward. There's a cushion that goes into there, and that makes a sun pad on the back. And then we come on round, as you can see, you've got seating all the way around. This on this side is actually a little sink and a fridge unit, and then this one's got an ice maker here as well. But then your helm is up here, there's another seat next to it, and another sunbathing area. Then up here on the front you can see these poppers. I had to put a cushion into there, and then again we can go right to the front, and you can see down on the foredeck more sunbathing. So great if you're in the med, but actually it doesn't take up too much space if you're using the boat in the UK and don't need quite so much sunbathing, because this area is fairly small, and that, as I say, is normally seating. One interesting thing on this boat is this. Now this is an internal staircase down to the lower deck, and we'll see that in a bit more detail when we go inside. And we'll head on back here. I think the other thing that we will talk about while we're out here is engines. Now, Sunseeker put this boat onto V-drives. What that means is it's shaft drive, but the engines are fairly well aft. And what they do then is you have the drive going out of the front of the engines and then through a V-box, and the shaft comes back underneath it and allows the engines to be positioned well back, and that allows an increase on the interior volume. Now the engines in this one are the MAN 800s. They're a very popular engine. They also put Caterpillar 800s in, and they're about the same. I think the Caterpillars were very slightly more popular. There's also a smaller Caterpillar, just over 700 horsepower. That one's less popular. But these MANs and the Cat 800s, those are the engines that you will most likely find in one of these boats. The other thing we have down in here is the generator. That's at the back just there. So that's the mechanical bits. Let's go and take a look inside. Now this has got the high gloss cherry wood, and that was the most popular finish in here, although there was a maple alternative as well. And the layout on this is quite interesting, because you've got the saloon here at the back, the dinette area is further forward, but the galley is actually down here. So if we take a step down, you'll see that this leads us down to actually quite a decent sized galley area. You've got 4-burner electric hob on this one, and a couple of other things you've got in here are washing machine is in here, and also there's a dishwasher on this one as well. This has the microwave built in just here, but actually on this particular boat it's been fitted with a conventional oven, and that's up there. But what you might not expect in this area is this door, which leads into a small internal crew cabin. So that's in here. There's a single bed, you've got the sink next to it, and then there is also a toilet and a shower in here as well. It's a bit full of gear at the moment, but that is what that is. That's in behind that curtain. So that's pretty unusual. You don't often find that in the centre of the boat. So that's for your crew, or it would make a fourth cabin for occasional guests. And now if we head on forward again, we can come back up these steps, head on round, and this is that dining area. And these are the stairs that I mentioned that come down from the flybridge, and they come down directly behind the helm, and that's up here. That's the internal helm. Very nicely done. This one's been retrimmed actually. This would normally be like a burr walnut on here. This one's been done with this sort of carbon fibre look material, which looks very smart, I have to say. A few upgrades on this boat. All the lighting's been upgraded to LED lighting, for example. This has all been refurbished, and all the upholstery has been redone on this one as well. So it is rather a smart example. Let's head on down and I'll show you the layout on the lower deck. Now on this boat, the master cabin is right up here in the bow. Very nice size. There's a load of floor space here. You've got storage all the way around, of course, and in places like this as well, tucked away. On the other side is a hanging locker, and this has its own ensuite. That's in here. Rather a nice size with a proper separate shower area through that glass door. So that works very well. What you've got then further back down the boat is day heads on this side. You can see this only keeps a dehumidifier on here, which is a great idea in the winter, just to keep everything fresh. And then these two cabins are cabins 2 and 3. They share the day heads, of course. And they're in here. So one down here. Again, nice size. And again, you've got lots of storage in places like this. And the other one is pretty much the same. And that's here. Again, very good size, 2 single beds, lots of storage about the place. There's one crucial difference with this cabin, and that is that if we look behind here, it has what they call the Jack and Jill door. So this takes you directly into the day heads. So at night, this is effectively an ensuite. So I've mentioned that there was an alternative layout. It was pretty rare. There was a Mark II version. And what they did with that was they got rid of this internal staircase. They moved the galley, which is underneath it, out to here. So your galley was in this area. No internal staircase. You had a cabinet here with a lift TV built into it. And you might wonder, well, what's the point of that? And the reason that they did that is because that created space then for a full beam master cabin underneath here. So what you had then was a forward cabin similar to this, full beam master under the centre, and you had one more cabin then, so it still had a 3 cabin layout. But as I say, that's the Mark II. It's pretty rare. They only made a few of those at the end of its production. So that's about it. Sunseeker 56 Manhattan, and if you're looking for a circa 60-foot boat, these are certainly well worth taking a look at.